All right, good evening, everybody. It's the Town of Fairfield Conservation Commission for December 17th, 2025. Thomas, Rick Boucher, Dabney Brown, Peter Hood, Jay Fain, Kim Mahoney is, yep. Heather Rosenthal, Ted Luxinger, and Dan Saunders are all here. If we could stand. And Rick, could you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the
the flag of the
United
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Tim.
Very good, Tim.
There's a flag right
Should have did
there.
that before. Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
little
there's a
one.
flag right there.
There's always.
I know, I should have done it.
Okay, so we have a full. Approval draft meeting minute. So Conservation Commission meeting of November 19th, 2025. Do any commissioners have any comments, corrections, issues? Otherwise, the motion to approve. Ed and Diane seconds. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Very good. Moving on to new business. Number one is Lake Mohegan Trail Race application. Tim, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the applicant could not be here tonight. He let the applicant know today. The application is in your packet. It is, I think the third or fourth year that the application has come before the commission. In years past, it's held in, I believe, May. At Lake Mohegan, past has been a female trail race on the trails, and the department has not had any previous issues. It's been consistently well executed by a professional company doing these trail races all over the place. So the department has no concerns or objections.
Perfect. Commissioners, any comments? No, well, all right, I'll say that I think it's a great thing. It's been now, like you said, 3 or 4 years that it's been going on, and every year seems to get better. So, your motion to approve the application.
Right, so
Rick makes the motion, Dabney seconds it. All in favor? Aye, all around. Very good. Number 2 is 195 Poles Farm Road Conservation Easement Modification Request. All right.
That's in your packet, and Alex Mock is online.
Alex
to
Mock.
present.
Hello, Alex.
Oh,
Hello, good evening, Commission. This is Alexandra Mock, wetland and soil scientist, landscape designer. Can I share the screen? It looks like I can. Perfect. So I would like to walk you through the application, and I thought the easiest way to see all those elements will be to start with an aerial photograph. So this is the property, the red outline, and then transitions into green, yellow. This is the 0.75 acre site. As you can see, the residence is located here. Here's the access to the site. Garage is over here, and then is backyard over here, and then the leaching fields for the septic system in the front. In green is marked the current conservation easement, which was designated a long time ago in 1977. And let's go to the old map. So this is what was filed on the land records at that time, and you can see that these are basically hand-drawn lines, which are probably the buffers then to the Browns Brook, which is flowing through this area. So when we file for a wetland application, for the wetland application for the pool, which is over here, the staff determined that this could be an agent approval. The wetlands are pretty much highlighted by the pink or purple line over here. So the distance is significantly enough for this to be an agent approval. But the conservation easement, as you can see, is very close to this pool, almost touching it. And with this conservation easement, currently within its eastern portion, we have leaching fields. This whole area is lawn. Anything between the stone wall and this edge, eastern edge, is maintained as a lawn. You see that there's a fence encroachment, and the stone wall is naturally here, so I'm not sure or not this is a huge issue. And there's another stone wall here. The access to the backyard is mostly achieved through the side of the house, so a regular maintenance is coming to the back of the residence through the conservation easement. So during this application for the pool, staff determined that it will be beneficial to relocate this conservation easement and maybe find a better location for it to preserve much environmentally sensitive areas rather than lawn encroachments and the fence, which in the case of the pool will have to be removed, and would like to keep it because this is going to be also our pool fence. In terms of vegetated cover, again in green we have the existing, in yellow we have the proposed. In terms of vegetation cover, the yellow area, the proposed area, does not have any lawn encroachments. This is all naturally wooded area. You can see the Browns Brook flowing here. Vice versa, the current easement, the eastern section, is mostly lawn. There are some structural encroachments here, and then the fence. In terms of the size of the current and the proposed, let's go cite this with in acres. So the current is 0.802 acres. The proposed is 0.846 acre. So we're going to have an increase of 0.044 acre, which is almost 2,000 square feet of the area. In summary, the proposed movement of the conservation easement not only will benefit the environment, but also the existing wall here in the front will provide clear demarcation, and then the easement will follow the newly delineated wetland edge. So I hope that the Commission sees the benefits and sees the fact that the new proposed conservation easement is going to be larger, it's going to be in much better shape because it's all natural, no encroachments, and it's going to be removed a little bit farther from the human activities. And I'm here to answer any questions.
For the record, could you tell me what is the reason you're asking this for, just as a summary?
So the trigger for this was the pool. So we're proposing the pool over here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger for you. So the pool is being proposed here, and as you can see, the conservation easement is almost touching the corner, and the pool company got a little bit nervous. It's like, how we're going to be installing this pool? We'll have to have probably like chain link fence here to make sure that nobody is going to park the vehicle or do any activities on this side of the pool. And then I did talk to Sarah, and I said, well, you know, this is kind of not a really good situation because you have so much of the open, natural area, wooded area here, which is not being protected. Meanwhile, you are protecting lawn area and septic area and the fence area. And you can see that this is the current wetland delineation. So there's more of a natural area here, which is not covered. And I recommended that it would be more beneficial to move the new area, the conservation easement, into the natural area and not include the lawn here. And then also going along the stone wall, this is going to be the natural demarcation for the new easement, which is going to be clear. Now, when you walk to the side, this is all lawn, so you don't even know where the easement is and which area you're supposed to be protecting, vice versa, which is not being protected.
So existing owners or new owners? Just for the record.
Existing owners, but they never actually conducted any activities at the site, and this is their first going through the wetland application with the pool.
Okay, but you mentioned several times encroachments. So who's responsible for that?
Previous owners.
Okay, so you,
This is an easement from the seventies, you said?
Yes.
I'm just talking
The
about,
original map.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask, if you can go back to the pink line and green line map, why,
One? Oh, pink one, okay.
that one right there, okay, why on the top, it's a straight line along, it seems to be a wall, and then it gets jagged, and you don't go simply continue it along the wall?
I knew that the question is going to come. So one of the reasons, there are a few reasons actually. One of the reasons is because there's an existing fence which we would like to maintain for the pool, and also to protect this area against the deer browsing. And so as you can see, the fence is actually behind the wall, and probably the wall would be the natural demarcation. But then the new conservation easement will be much greater than the existing, and the owner felt a little bit would like to have a little bit more of a breathing space here in the backyard, because the backyard is pretty tight, and we have the wetland area here, which is naturally protected and demarcated by the wall. There's a fence here, but everything is pretty tight here. So having the conservation area very close to the stone wall will bring the protected area closer to the yard. And in the future, not that anybody is going to be building anything here, because the stone wall is a natural wetland buffer demarcation and is going to remain. But again, the setbacks potential is just like they prefer that they will have a little bit more space. Therefore, we pick the wetland boundary as the boundary.
Yes. Yeah, please.
I'm not in favor of this, Alexandra. The easement's been here since 1977. As you said, the property owners are well aware of it. I don't know why it got where it was in 1977, but I'm very hesitant to look back and question what was done back and renegotiate every easement that this commission has done in the past. I don't feel that we're getting any benefit at all from the shifting of the easement or increasement of the size, because that area is all regulated and protected entirely at this point anyways. We, as an agency, we've worked very hard to address some of the past issues with conservation easements, and going forward, we think we have a very good roadmap for that. But I think we've been revisiting too much of these old ones, and I think it's opening up that door, Pandora's box, even further would be a big mistake for this agency. So I would not be in favor of this. I think you can build a pool as you want. I don't see that there's any constraint here or issue here that with the people want to do, and I don't see that we as an agency or the town and as a whole would get a benefit from shifting the conservation easement. That's just my
making a point.
Not yet. Yeah. Any other
No,
commissioners?
I think the original easement gave more protection to the water course, and the new one, by shifting it, is giving less protection for the water course.
Well, not really, because I think the protection for the wetland, the physical protection, because you can't really see the conservation easement at the side because it doesn't have any demarcation. It's just a line which nobody knows about. And we just recently discovered this when the survey was done for the pool. But the wall is basically the protection for the wetland, and the stream is over here. So I guess comparing to the old maps, it shifted a little bit towards the west because it was exactly in the middle between those two lines. Now, and this is typical for the channel downshifting and switching. That's the part, I mean, that's the nature of the streams. So it looks like now the stream is eroding towards this area and the channel is moving towards this area. So it's now farther from this line and is getting closer to this boundary. And the wetland boundary is here. And this is a slope. So that's really hard to use this area anyway. And then you have not only wall, but also you have the fence which protects it.
Now, look, if it's hard to use that area anyway, why wouldn't you just do that straight line and do the fence? And if you say, if you need to get in there to fix the fence, we already know it's there. I mean, this is, it just looks odd. I'll buy that the stream's moved, so yeah, sure, you can move it back a little, but that little bit is right where the wall is, and that'd be right on. That would be right on. This little jagged, I don't know what that is at the end. Even I'm not
Here?
buying, even I'm not buying it. But I wouldn't have any problem because I can see the stream is moved. So sure, move that conservation easement back a little bit, but that little bit is perfectly right on where that fence and that wall is. And we can work in any language that's needed to repair a wall or enter for maintenance of the wall, or whatever that might be, but not so much for, oh, we want a little extra space. You don't have any space now, so what's the difference?
Right.
So, any other comments, commissioners? I'm sorry.
I guess I'm gonna stand by my original comments. I really don't want to get into the situation where everybody comes in and starts negotiations, easements. The purpose of a conservation, it's supposed to be permanent, it's supposed to be set in stone, so to speak, and I just feel uncomfortable. You know, I think word it gets out, where everybody will be coming in and trying to renegotiate the conservation easements. I think we should respect the work that was done in the past, and again, I don't think it's any hardship here. I'm not asking, I think, to undo anything that's done. I think we're just keeping the protection that was there. I'm not sure that, I guess there's a representation, the stream has moved. I don't think the stream has moved. I think maybe the mapping was incorrect, but I think that the easement that was done in 77 was what the commission at that time thought was needed to be protected, and I think we should respect that.
Okay.
For me, I think it's very much, I don't want to put myself in the position of second guessing the person who wrote the there. I just don't. I'm just not going to speak for myself. I don't ever want these unless there's some really compelling reason, and this is definitely not it.
Okay.
So I think that the reason here is that if you as a commission, and we know that everything is changing, and the regulations in 1977 had just started, and it was like in a very early stages, and people probably were just trying to figure it out how to govern everything and how to protect the wetlands, how to delineate the wetlands, et cetera, and probably that's why the original map is not really showing any wetland, it's just showing stream, because stream is much easier to depict and delineate. I'm not sure or not actually they had soil scientists available and trained at that time. So they did their best. I'm not sure what happened between 1977 and today, but somehow the septic got here, and I'm not sure whether or not the septic was ever approved or not. And then this wall was built. Again, I'm not sure whether or not the approval existed. But this is mostly because the area, the eastern boundary is not visible in any ways, and it's even hard to survey it because the map is basically, the original map is hand drawn. What we are offering is that something which is going to be surveyed and found on the land record. So now it's going to be much easier to see the demarcation and where it is, and much easier to put it on any of the future plans than the lines. And like, as you can see, the lines are interpreted in a weird way because in here they're attaching property line on the survey that showing that they're encroaching almost on their property. So again, this is being interpreted. The wall is a perfect demarcation, and if the commission really wants this to be added, this section, which is a slope, but based on the fence, I think we will consider this. But I think this is much better deal because you have not only additional open space, which you are protecting with this proposal, the open space is in much better shape. You are protecting very important habitat associated with the brook, and just staying with the current easement, I think it's a mistake because it's already compromised, and we're doing our best to offer you the section of the property, which is pretty large section of the property, as you look at the map, as a permanently preserved.
I'd like to say that this sounds like a quid pro quo, and I don't think that's how this commission likes to operate. If you give us this, we'll give you that. And while I appreciate the idea of expanding the conservation area, the easement area, this just really smacks of we want a bigger area around our pool, and what do we have to give in exchange for that?
Definitely.
Leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, not necessarily, because when we install the pool, that is going to change because we have a way of protecting the open space. We can put chain link fence along the boundary, making sure that nobody drives here, nobody parks here. This is all technically achievable. The only reason is that this is all going to stay as a lawn. Vice versa, you could have this wooded area, and you can actually add as an increase to your overall open space area, which is going to be benefit you and benefit your plan for preservation. I think it's not like we're trying to make a deal. I think we're just looking at this like, why this is all compromised. Why not just preserve what's supposed to be preserved, which is still in a natural state? And it's not really switching. I've seen a lot of applications with other towns, and if the commission sees that actually this gives them incentives, which I think with this application there clearly are, they will take it because they're preserving much better environment.
Can I, you talk about the obligation to protect the easement is there anyway. And it's been breached now, but that doesn't change. I think Davin put it exactly right. This is steel making. I don't like it. I move the pool.
We're ready for
Move the pool. I mean, I'm getting frustrated hearing about how it would be easier to protect. The obligation to protect the easement is already there. I don't care about whether it's visible or any of that stuff. The obligation is existing today. So I find this very frustrating to me. Move the pool.
Okay, commissioners, anybody else?
No, I just think the optics are off.
Yeah.
It smacks of Pittsburgh. I'm
And I,
not in favor of it.
Okay.
I don't think that the original easement was an overreach.
And motion?
I'll make a motion to reject.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Rick.
I'll make a motion that we deny the request for modifying the conservation easement.
I'll second that.
second that.
Pete got
That's okay.
there first.
First, okay. I'm
All
shy.
in favor of the motion to reject? Got, so one, do it again, please, from Peter, Rick, Dabney, Jay, Kate, and Ed, reject. All opposed to it. That would just me then. Those, yep, okay. Good. Moving on.
Thank you.
Now it's number 3. Is 980 High Street Conservation Easement. Hey, Council, how are you?
I'm on, Mr. Chairman.
All right, what's going on?
For the record, Brian Leclerc Burton Moses, I represent the Fairfield Housing Corporation. And as many of you will remember, last year, this commission approved an application after December of last year. We're here tonight to have formalized what we proposed, what we presented, what you approved. And that is, as you will remember, 37,000 square foot, about 7/8 of an acre conservation area on the property, where the area in perpetuity will be remain in its natural, undisturbed, and undeveloped state. In fact, the same area we proposed in the application, and we've incorporated Bill County's management plan as well. To the management and maintenance of the property. We're here just to formally that easement and sign it and submit it to you for filing on this. And there's no changes from what we've done.
Council, thank you. You should know that we, since then, have put together a subcommittee that's gone over easements and things. So a few of these members might have some questions and comments. Any questions or comments?
So who drafted this easement that you're presenting?
You're talking about the
Yes.
we drafted the manuscripted document and we incorporated one of the management plan that you've seen already that was presented with the application. The engineers come up with the meets and bounds and they have a separate map showing the conservation area of the entire management.
Okay, but the management plan that you're talking about is another document.
That's contained on one of the exhibits. If you look at the,
Well, it's one page. Is that what you're talking about?
yes, it's.
That's the entire management plan?
That's it. That's it.
Okay,
You'll see it's called Habitat Enhancement and Management Method.
okay. Well, as Luke mentioned, we do have a committee that's working on conservation easement language for the town. This, as you've presented it, I find it totally inadequate. It hardly encompasses anything that we would expect to see in an easement. And I'm not sure why we're accepting drafts of our legal documents from outside parties, but
You don't have a form, an easement used all the time. And what we did is, this is exactly what was presented and what was appealed. This is the conservation easement area. This is the exact area with the management.
okay, but not the actual language of the easement.
No, this is language we'll use in various towns.
Okay.
Standard easement language, and we incorporate everything that you've approved right into.
Okay. It is true that we don't currently have a draft or a sample of easement language that we can give you. That's something we're working on. So in my opinion, we need to do quite a bit of work on this before it's acceptable and incorporate a lot of the things that we've been discussing in our subcommittee, which you know nothing about. But that's the way I would like to see this go.
I would agree with that. Council, we've been working very diligently and we're using model conservation easement languages as Connecticut has propagated. But on the other hand, I understand that you want to get this done. So I'd like to move it along, but we would like to get a little bit more robust language. I think a lot of it has to do with the way we want to move forward as an agency and have, we've had issues with interpretation of the easements before. We want to get something that's stronger legal document, but we realize the time is of the efforts. We would want to work quickly to get that done for you.
And that is our issue. We have to close with the public housing financing by the end of this year. We need to get our building permits in place and we need to have the easements. We have everyone's sign off. So, we're willing to look at language if you have additional language you want that something that incorporates what you've approved, that's fine. I think this protects the town because it incorporates the wetlands management plan. It's got the same map you approved. If you want a different language, well, surely can come back. You approve it tonight with reasonable changes you have, as long as they don't change the
We'd
easement.
be in a position to draft it tonight, but
What we run against is
I understand your, your timeline, but I think we want, and unfortunately, we don't meet again until, January, but, I don't know if there's another way around this or, unfortunately, I don't know why this just came to us tonight. I was hoping it would come a little earlier, but,
Is there
we
no
feel
way?
pretty
to-
strongly about it. We've had some real issues and you can just see in the earlier discussion, we're trying to be very proactive on these conservations moving forward. Probably at this point, if we had been back where we are now, we probably would have used a different preservation mechanism, conservation easement, but trying to avoid the smaller ones that are harder managed and maintained. There's an obligation to us to do inspections and to do enforcement and everything like that. And we're trying to not do too small ones because it eats up too much of our resources.
that's what we proposed, and that's why we've put all that in there.
I understand you're kind of a unique
We wanna
situation. Most of
change
these are
your
homeowner
mindset.
situations, and you guys are a corporation, and it's gonna be a larger thing. So I don't anticipate the type of problems we would have with a homeowner, but I think we want to be, since.
If you look at the easements of pine trees, the areas we protected there, I should say, how they've been maintained.
Yeah, I don't think that we know that we have an issue with concept. I think we just want to move forward with what we think is good practice.
I'm just curious, your financing has to close by the end of the year? There's no way to.
That's where against, we need the building permits to close the financing. So if we can
Right.
have the sign off for the building permit, we can certainly come back and finalize this.
And what happens if you don't? I'm just
Yeah,
trying to get an idea of
We're
hardship.
just
What
one
happens
piece of
if
that.
you don't?
How does that?
I mean, this is the last piece. All the other pieces have fallen into place.
Should it have come here earlier? I'm not really.
Well, yeah, we just got this today, just literally a
Wait,
few
I'm
hours.
trying to get an idea of
Normally we
whether
would-
there's hardship here. So what would happen if you?
We're
did
not able to
close?
close the deal. We don't have our finance.
Yeah, I mean,
Joe.
Lenders or financing?
there's a loan on the property, so the lender, the longtime acquisition lender is looking to get their $1 million back, so.
And they wouldn't be able to delay? And if they
Well-
didn't, if they insisted on them, would you have to start all over?
What does that mean? Wait, no. What does that mean? The longtime lender is looking to get their money back. All right, every lender is looking to get their money back. But is there some sort of impediment to continuing a closing?
cost.
You gotta pay, okay,
Yeah,
that's a cost. It's
Okay.
not, there's nothing other than cost that's stopping a delay in the closing, right? There's no you won't get any funding from anybody if you don't close on this at the end of the year. Is that correct, council? It's.
That's correct, but we're funding is in jeopardy on these mortgages, is my understanding.
Yeah, so we haven't talked to the lender, so I don't want to represent that the lender's willing to continue, I'm also not willing to represent that the landlord would foreclose. But if you're asking me why year end, the loan matures and is due on December 31st of 2025. And as far as costs are concerned, folks know what interest rates are on loans, I'm sure. It's a $6,000 or $7,000 every month that, right, we're paying, so.
So you're this isn't the only project that you guys have done in the past. Have you ever asked for and gotten granted any extensions of any maturing loan?
The last project we did was Pine Tree and we own the land, so we didn't have an acquisition loan on the property.
Is it the first time any construction project that you guys have done this have had a loan on it?
It's the loan is on the real estate, so what we're trying to do is take the
I'm asking
acquisition
on
loan
whether or
out.
not you've had conversations with a lender in the past and asked for an extension.
Yes, we have asked for extensions because, as you know, we've owned it since December of 2018. Yeah, so yes, we have asked for extensions.
I'm sorry, anything further from council?
I just feel like we're being railroaded. And what they have that they knew about, and here we are, less than 2 weeks from their loan period. And we're under pressure to approve one page, that's totally inadequate.
How are we going to learn what is adequate? Sounds like you're not going to take any.
I'm pretty sure.
You, that we have to. How do we know what to put in these to get satisfied what language you want? If you don't have, if you don't have a guidance or a form for us to use, we're waiting months or years for you. For us to give you the easement, we're obligated to give you the easement. We're here prepared to give you exactly what you asked for. The easement, we're not asking to modify, to change one inch. Give you exactly what we proposed.
The ways we could do it, we can give you the information on it. Our time taking, the Google Doc and follow direction we're heading in.
It's actually on the Connecticut Bar website. If they have a
We had-
working committee.
But it's still in progress. That's my point, is it's not done, but it's.
I don't know that we're gonna have a done, because council doesn't, our chair doesn't think that we could have a one size fit all. Have more of a, probably a Chinese menu type thing. I think that you could go on what we have and probably draft something through. I think we should go in that direction. I don't know that we would have, and I can't guarantee we would have a draft ready for you. And I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but it's, I want to move this along. I do not want to hold you up, but I feel that we want to get we've had a lot of issues with this, and a lot of it's, it's standard legal language in terms of inspections and access to the property and, expectations of property. So I think you could go that and probably cherry pick it.
If you want to approve it tonight, subject to us submitting to you a document incorporating those terms satisfactory to your staff.
I don't know how everyone else feels about that, but I probably would be okay with.
Are you okay with that? I mean, I don't even know what all the terms are. I mean, they are, from what I understand, and I remember seeing some plans, it seemed to be standard stuff, like a model.
There's one, we, I think there's one.
There's something somewhere,
Pull
yeah.
that and submit that as, and approve it.
You would have to cherry pick it a little bit, but I think it goes in the direction we should go.
If there's anything to add to idea that council's ordinance to incorporate those, if not all, or the appropriate clauses that would be required or appropriate for something along these lines, and leave it up to staff, I guess, to.
How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is,
That's our concern.
I mean, everyone knows it's a pretty high profile, project. I'm fine with that, but I would almost ask, the commission whether it would make sense to convene at least the subcommittee to review it. Do that under, usually under meeting. Yeah, I'm not saying a vote, but at least look at the language.
Legal.
I'll say that I don't, while I appreciate the willingness, I don't like being put under duress to satisfy their problems. Especially when our meeting calendar is available. You must have known that this was going to be the last meeting of the year.
When did this come to you? This,
Couple weeks ago, when it was included, when the agenda went up, really. Last week.
And so and because it's a high profile situation, I'm not comfortable making any approvals ahead of knowing what we're doing. So I would be inclined to ask the client to ask for an extension. And we can, and you can meet with the
Right.
subcommittee, and we can look at this in January and hopefully approve it then.
Here's what I would offer, the first, meeting that we have is an inland wetland meeting on January 7th. Happy to convene a conservation commission meeting immediately thereafter. And between now and January 7th, maybe we can collaborate with subcommittee members, with you and with the staff to identify those clauses that would be in there. And from a financing standpoint, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Nobody's foreclosing, nobody's doing anything. 7 days is just maybe 7 days of delayed payments or something. It's not even any. Council, you know what I mean? There might not be much there that your lender could possibly do. And by the 7th, you get approval. All done. I think that's what we're gonna do. All right?
I think we would have to supply any comments that we had as a subcommittee to staff, and then staff would have to.
Yeah.
We're gonna coordinate through staff. then?
Yes, let's coordinate through staff, and we will make every effort to get the certain members, commissioners are more in-depth and involved with the actual language of these events. And they'll coordinate with staff, get them to you, and then staff will distribute it, the email to all of us, we'll review and we'll be ready to go on the 7th for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Otherwise, we can. Otherwise.
I also learned how to say Leclerc because my daughter, she, when I said Charles Leclerc the other day, she said, "Mom, it's Charles Leclerc." I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Wish I was related.
We have a little bit of F1 fever going on at the
Right.
house right now.
Happy holidays.
You said.
Thank you, same to you.
Norris.
Don't say that.
Oh, no, you don't like the declarants? All right,
We're big Mercedes.
you are, okay.
Mercedes
But it won't.
Yes.
Okay, so on to number 4, it's Yukon letter of support.
Yes, that was included in your packet. I received a request from CT Trail Finder and Yukon, a group that we've been collaborating with. Generate a letter of support for their ongoing efforts with the trail program. So I did submit a brief letter to Bradley, raising their efforts in our collaboration and, you know, the outcome that we've had with working with them. I just wanted the commission to see that.
Nicely done, Tim. Very nice.
All right. Moving on down to room numeral 6, old business. Number 1 is the 2026 meeting calendar. I, for one, will say I like the format.
Yeah, me
You
too.
too.
Yeah, very nice.
Better.
So then that's almost unanimous there, Tim.
It needed improvement, so Alex did a great job making that a little better visual.
Yeah,
Yeah, very nice.
so that party's very, did any commissioners have a chance to look at any conflicting dates with holidays or anything?
March 4th is the annual pause meeting,
March
so I don't think we want to have a meeting on that day.
The Association of Wetland Scientists has their annual meeting that day. Usually goes all day.
So,
There could be license
And
fees.
who would, yeah, how many people would not be able to?
go.
Okay.
So
Several of us that do
I
it.
got an orange hat already.
do we want to combine the March meeting to one meeting on the 18th?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I think that's.
Just try to keep it
That'll work.
light.
That'll work.
Yeah.
So we'll work with everybody, so March 18th will be one of those, in the line that has blue on top and orange on the bottom.
Yeah, for both.
Okay, no problem. Was there any other holiday meetings, school calendar things anybody saw that, you know? Although, so we were just holidays or anything that are falling just. Okay. Cool. Very good. There, a motion to, we need to do a motion to approve the calendar? Yeah, okay. Motion to approve the calendar with changes? Kate, any second? Ted's got the second. All in favor? Aye, all around. Very good. All right. Next is, number 2 is the 2026 election of officers.
I would like to continue a tradition. I think this would be my third of a swift and kind of nomination. I think we have a great set of officers, and I would right away like to just ask everybody if they're ready and willing. I would nominate across the board.
Okay. Well, I guess to answer the question, we'll go with Rick first. Are you willing to stay on?
Yes, I'd be honored.
Dabney?
So honored.
Same here. Okay, so that. that's-
I second
guess
that.
That'd be the
that's a
third year. I'm
motion.
not sure, but it's at least the third year.
So
I'm glad you did it, Peter.
Pete's got the motion out. Anybody?
Second.
Second, 10 seconds. All in favor? All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We could not do better.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. Number 7, open space land acquisition. Number 1 is 561 Center Street donation request. Tim? That's it.
Small parcel, Center Street and the on-ramp to 95, Southport. This, sort of began when Baldwin was the town attorney. Kind of died on the vine in the transition, resurfaced, and the real estate agent reached out to me, or reached out to the selectman's office. It's a small parcel up against, like I said, 95. There's some drainage in there, and it's part of a bigger system that goes downstream into Sasko through some inland and tidal wetland systems. I don't have the info's online. I don't have it in paper form. With this one, I don't think. It's, I want to say roughly half an acre or smaller, square in shape. Just before the, I don't see any reason not to accept it. Wouldn't be part of any larger open space other than its strategic advantage of having wetlands and water courses on it. And hopefully would be part of the potential future ask of the adjacent parcel, which belongs to the condo association nearby. But there's a great deal of open space there that it could have some potential to be acquired.
Is that the Aberdeen Way? Condo Association, is that on Aberdeen Way? Like backing up to it, like just, what is that, just west of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's, again, not a significant loss in tax revenue. The parcel is in arrears. And the current owner is willing to donate it. Actually, I have the acreage here, much smaller than I thought, 0.17 acres. And they are in arrears of $22,500. First step would be an approval to continue to move forward through the boards. But would need approval from this commission if the commission decides to pursue acquisition.
Questions, commissioners?
Why we wouldn't do it?
Yeah, I think it
Why
sounds
not?
like, you know, and if it's a donation and it fixes their tax issues and we get wetlands, I think this is a win-win-win.
Okay. So it starts here.
It would start here, it'll go to Land Acquisition Commission in January, and then go to Board of Selectmen and RTM in January as well. So since it came up at the time before this meeting, it was good timing to have your review.
Does that give us access to that larger piece in the rear?
Yeah, they abut each other. I don't know if it's possible. I haven't looked into that larger one, but
Wetlands, but
yeah, if it was able to be carved out from the condo, I don't know. I'm sure there's some requirement, as you know, from planning and zoning for the subdivision to set that aside, but maybe there's potential to acquire that and carve it out in the future, and wouldn't want to not have access from the town road because it does abut the highway. You know, there could be access from this parcel into that. Since one side is the on-ramp, you know, Connecticut DOT on-ramp, and then the Center Street side would give us frontage where the sidewalk ends. It is an invasive jungle. I've been out there. I think what originally started was the adjacent homeowner with the single-family home complained of all the Atlantis on that property, and the lanternflies were driving her crazy. And myself and the tree warden met out there and like, this isn't our property. We can't do anything. So eventually she bought both properties and is willing to donate this one.
Yeah, I think they were one time part of a package deal together, but that one was not buildable.
Any
So do we
motion?
make a motion to,
Motion to pursue the donation.
I'll second that. Or I'll make the motion to pursue the donation. What was it, 561 Center Street?
And second to that motion.
and I'll second.
Okay. Okay, second. All in favor?
I mean, it's out there, Ted.
All right. Number 2 is 377 Riverside Drive donation request.
I brought this up before, but now it's a little more formal. Riverside Drive does abut our open space of Attorney Creek. This parcel extends out into the tidal marsh, is 0.57 acres. Current owner, Yarosh, does not owe any delinquent taxes. It's a pure donation. It just adds again to our additional Enfield Mills and open space along Ash Creek. And just downstream of the Riverside Drive single tide gate, which is in the works of design for future replacement next year. It's again just additional land that's tidal. There's no strategic characteristics about this parcel because it is behind the home, but is additional land that's adjacent inside our open space.
Is this a separate tax lot or is it part of one of the 373 or?
It is separate.
And is it owned by one of the homes?
The home's adjacent. Yep.
373.
So they approached us, Attorney Gumper, who's a former commission chair, has reached out to me to start the process, and I suggested that tonight's discussion and potential approval would be the first step.
Yeah, it's an important parcel, an important open space. Definitely.
Yeah, I think.
I make a motion to approve the donation of 377 Riverside Drive.
All in favor? All right. Number 3 is the current land acquisition worksheet or 2025, so that's appropriate here. Nice.
Very nicely formed.
Yeah, it is attached. I made sure it was in color, so it's a little easier to read. There's a lot of information. This is the worksheet I provide and produce for the Land Acquisition Commission meetings. I just wanted to provide it to this commission since it is year end. Anything updated since the last Land Acquisition Commission meeting, which would have been in October, is in green. So you can see that level of activity in the last 3 months. It does do some simple math at the bottom, showing you our acquisitions in parcels and acreage, and our rate, as well as some of the totals and financial totals in delinquent taxes on some of these parcels, which also some which have already been acquired. So that part is moot at this point. But I just want to show you what the department is working on, has its eyes on, and it's currently in negotiations or process with. Just to share that and continue that pollination of this commission and Land Acquisition Commission.
I'd like to point out how impressive this is.
I agree.
And not only in the time that I've been on this commission have I ever seen it laid out like this, but the initiative to reach out proactively to property owners is amazing. And I just want to say thank you, Tim. This is really incredible.
Thank you. It's relatively easy, and I think the biggest note, not a resident in this town or taxpayer, but all of this is done at really only legal expenses to the town. So we're requiring so far the 39.31 acres for $0 in legal fees for closings. So I don't know where you could get 40 acres in Fairfield County for $0.
Yeah.
Other than
You could build a hell of a ball.
through this method. Granted, there, you could argue lost taxes, but anything that was foreclosed on wasn't paying taxes for decades anyway, so you're not getting,
That's
you're not
right.
getting.
Yeah,
that.
losing it.
Yeah.
So,
Turn into something useful.
yeah, so adds to our inventory. And it is an ongoing process.
Well, thank you, Tim.
Good job. And the current acquisition rate, frequency rate is 2.48 months partial.
I have a quick question, Tim. We have more open space per capita, I believe, than any other town in Fairfield County. Right? I'm wondering if we have, if like, just in terms of gross land area, do we have?
Like, that did come up at a MetroCog meeting. Ted was on the other day as well. It's, was that Monday?
Lighting program.
Monday or Tuesday of this week, where they are putting a regional POCD together. And they did list the half a dozen towns in MetroCog's territory. But they include, it was a parks and open space number.
Oh,
And actually ours wasn't. I provided our acreage and Anthony provided parks acreage, but I don't think they combined them. So the number was off, but compared to towns like Easton or, Bridgeport, I think I would like to see that number as far as per capita because,
Yeah,
they might have more land, but they left less people. So
right. That's right.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that ratio, so I'm not sure where Fairfield lands.
I think we're
but I think it's definitely up there.
Doing a good job, yeah.
The history of this town and its dedication to the environment and preserving open space.
Very good. And now moving on to 8 bills and communications. Number 1, Southwest Conservation District Annual Request. So it's a letter and an invoice. You do this every year?
This is every year, and this Roman numeral 8 it's always on our agenda, and I don't think it gets enough attention. So I did want to add an example of some of the things we do get. This request, we get similar from Harbor Watch, and some other entities, but this is an easy. MetroCog is another one. But we do contribute from our operating budget. We work with Southwest Conservation District and Chris Sullivan often, and we're in the process currently of them. We've collaborated with them and Fairfield Public Schools and the engineering department to we will receive 2 projects to improve stormwater in town at the cost of about $30,000. One will be on a public school property, and the other one will actually be behind Sullivan Independence Hall to manage areas of stormwater from basically parking lot runoff that aren't currently being treated. And that was in partnership with Southwest Conservation District and UConn. There was a delay with funding due to the Trump, the federal administration budget freeze and grant issues earlier in the year, but that is now moving forward. So my point is we work with groups like this, and just wanted to make the commission aware that we do contribute to other groups that we collaborate with financially.
The Conservation District is quasi-government in cooperation with NRDA and NRCS, excuse me, and they've done a lot of work over the years on different water quality stuff. Really good organization.
All right. So, we just vote to do it, or?
It's done.
Just done, right?
It's done. Yeah, it was just purely informational, just so if any commissioners are wondering why this agenda item's always on, and then there's never anything in it. I just wanted to give an example that we do pay bills.
Very nice. There's no legal or enforcement actions. Roman numeral 10 then is the staff reports for number 1 is update on the new tractor. How we doing?
I am pleased to announce that the purchase order was processed by the purchasing department through and her team the other day. I did send that today via email to the Bobcat dealership. They will have with a PO, they're committed to honor our price since the calendar year 2025 is about to end. They were unsure whether or not prices would change in 2026. They couldn't guarantee that they could honor this without the PO. So that PO is in their hands. It's locked in with the approval of the expenditure from the Board of Finance at their early January meeting. With that, we would be good to go to place the order and take delivery as soon as possible.
That's great.
So you're gonna schedule a christening or?
Yes. Right.
Naming.
Champagne. I know.
We will
all coming
we'll
out.
do some hay rides for the commissioners.
There we go.
Who gets the first ride?
Yeah.
I wanted to know. Work that out.
Who's driving? That's what I want to know.
Me. Straw hat.
That no more. I got caught last week.
Oh, no. All right, well, good. That's good to hear, because it was a little hairy there for a minute.
Good luck with
there, but- Number 2 is an update on FIFs.
Since the last update, progress continues all the time. The recently the gas line was buried, electrical line was buried. The interior work is moving forward. I just got an invoice and estimate for fire alarm system this, yesterday. Just approved a purchase order for concrete for the floors in the basement. That's gonna be a few, you're gonna see a lot of cement mixers lined up down the road when it's come time to pour that. So, you know, things are ongoing, and some of you saw inside when we presented the Youth Conservation Award, what level of work is happening with demolition and reconstruction. So basically the lowest level, if you saw, I think it was just after around the Joey Shaw Trail dedication, with the entire back half of that lower level of the house was ripped off. And new footings were installed to match. There were no footings where you walk in that back door, if you remember, into that mudroom. So those footings had to be installed, and then the rest of the house, the footings didn't match the height, so you couldn't pour concrete and it all be the same level. So we had to rip the side of the house off, put in new footings, new supports, and now it's ready to accept concrete. So it's
What you get for a fixer-upper?
yeah, it's a big fixer upper. They should do one of those home improvement shows. Should have filmed that from the start, but I peeled the onion and you get some. Sometimes it makes you cry.
Well, thank you, Tim, for taking on the GC job on this, because if we had to pay somebody to do this, it would, I mean, thank you.
And I think, you know, obviously at the end of the day, when it's all done, I think it's gonna be such a
Oh.
big giant gem for the town,
Oh.
you know, just, it'll be great to have.
Next year will be a big year.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. You know, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be in there with the river right
I know.
that there, so.
I know, we just wanted a parking lot and look what we got.
Right? I
instead, right? We just didn't want to get our mirrors taken off every time we parked on Sturgis, but now look at this.
All right, good. Moving on to number 3, it's update on the Old Dam Road Trail.
Damn.
Work is ongoing. We did last week make some additional improvements when we could get in. If you recall, last week there were some high tides, a bunch of rain and full moon, so it made it difficult and wet to get in there with equipment. But Tom and the crew did get in there and with some large stone and improve some of the wet crossings that previously had deteriorated wood for crossings. The sign also got relocated and Peter had some great photos that I added to the cloud this afternoon that shows some of the work. You know, the trail was cut on Peace Avenue. That will require some improvement. I know it's pretty wet and you might have been frozen at the time, but
Okay, right now, it's froze.
that will need some improvement in the fall, but I did see that on the Kiwanis Field side, that the main entrance that some of the winter rye had taken, so I think it's relatively stable. If that becomes a mud hole, we'll improve it with some wood chips to stabilize that path entrance in. But work is ongoing. We're not just abandoning it because it's there. So as weather allows, we'll continue to.
I see footprints in the snow
That's good.
and they're humans. And I have to be, I mean, and I think the cut in on Pine Creek Avenue it's better. It's really better than what it was. And it's 100, I don't know, I'm not good at pacing, but I pace it at about 100 yards down the road. So it certainly is serving the same purpose to the locals and it's legitimate now, but it's actually better. I would say it's longer and that's kind of what you want.
Nice,
It's
yeah.
it's really good. I just.
Did I miss anything?
Don't like it.
Nice. It adds a lot to the open space and I sent out that map today. I don't know if everybody got it, but when you add that all in there, it's impressive how big the trail is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on. to Number 4, miscellaneous reports. A, congratulations to conservation crewman John Boreski and family.
Our crewman John is out on paternity leave. For good reason, he had his first child recently, so. That with the commission or Tom or I haven't heard from him since.
I asked him, could I say congratulations to you? Or are you a dad? He goes, yeah, thanks. Didn't say boy, girl.
Right.
Sleep much?
Right.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we have 2 returning, what you met Joe the other day, but Andrew will also be returning on Monday. So we have some extra seasonal hands to augment John's leave, at least for the next couple of weeks during Christmas. They're willing to work. They approach the department to work, so that's a good sign, and they're good workers, so
Right.
we'll be continuing.
So Tom, you weren't there and hope you're okay, of course. But let your staff know that they're appreciated, as are you, and all the hard work that you guys do. And you know, it was you were missed, and all the whoever else wasn't there.
I heard all, everything you said.
Yeah, I know. So bad. So yeah, just let the staff know that the commission, you know, really appreciates all that they do.
I will, thank you.
All right, moving on to other. Anybody got anything?
No.
Ted, anything with lights or anything?
We've got Craig Rapaz, we're going to do the March meeting, but now that we're putting the 2 meetings together on the one date, then we may have to look for another date for Craig to present. He's the head of Lights Out Connecticut, was going to present to the commission. So Tim, I'll reach out to you when I get, because to have the 2 meetings at one time, we can't have him present as well.
Okay.
So look for another date. But that's it.
What he's here for. Very good. Anybody else from the commission? No?
Drop off muffins, even though I didn't
Didn't make it.
coffee.
Sir, did you want to say anything? This is or
Saw that the trail was on the agenda.
oh, okay, yeah. So the
Our plan is to be on your January agenda to talk about it.
okay, very good.
Scheduling difficulties.
So, yeah, we just did the new calendar tonight, so you'll, now the agendas and the dates are set. Okay, yeah, very good. All right, folks. Hey. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.